enjoy my cozy corner of the internet, please click like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. If there are stories you would like to hear me read, comment down below. Now sit back, relax, and prepare to be curiously content. The Frog House by Mark Taylor, illustrated by Barbara Garrison. One day, a father and his son and daughter put a birdhouse in a tree. The birdhouse was very special. It had been made to look just like a big, ripe, red apple. A little green tree frog watched them from a branch in the tree. The frog was curious about why they were putting an apple into a tree. He knew the people took apples out of trees, so the frog decided to take a closer look. When he climbed down, he was surprised to see a round hole in the apple. The frog poked his head into the hole. He was amazed. The apple was made of wood, and it was empty. So he hopped inside. The frog had seen birds move into birdhouses, but never into a wooden apple. The people must have put this apple here just for me, he thought. It must be a frog house. So he decided to move in. The frog gathered his things and set out to make the apple a nice place to live. Just as he had everything settled, he heard a loud knocking on his house. The frog looked out the hole to see a bird pecking at the apple. The frog yelled to the bird, "Hey, stop that, you're going to hurt my house." The bird was very surprised to see a frog come out of the apple. "I'm very sorry. I didn't know it was your house. I thought it was a real apple. I was going to look for worms in it. I'm a robin, and robins eat worms." "Why don't you go look for worms on the ground?" suggested the tree frog. Then he hopped back into his house. The frog arranged his furniture, and then he felt tired, so he decided to take a nap. As the frog lay down and closed his eyes, his apple house began to rock alarmingly from side to side. The frog was very frightened, but he managed to call out, "Stop that!" The rocking stopped, and the frog poked his head out of the hole. A big black crow was pushing the house back and forth with his long beak. He was very surprised to see a frog in the apple. "Oh, me! I am very sorry, frog. I didn't mean to scare you. I was going to take this apple to my nest. I'm a crow, and crows like bright things, but I see now it is your home, so I won't take it." The tree frog gave the crow some colorful ribbon instead. "Oh, this will do just fine," said the crow, and he flew away. After the crow was gone, the frog began to relax and wonder who would show up next. Before the frog had moved into the house, he had never had so much company. Soon the tree frog heard a fluttering of wings and pretty chirping from outside his house. The frog looked out and saw a beautiful bluebird perched near his apple. The bluebird asked, "What are you doing in a birdhouse?" "A birdhouse," cried the frog. "Why, this is a frog house. Have you ever seen a birdhouse that looks like an apple?" "Well," answered the bird, "now that you mention it, no. I was thinking of moving in. I'm a bird and birds live in birdhouses. But a bird can't live in a frog house, now can it?" So the bluebird flew off. Before the frog could even pull his head back out of the hole, he saw a big gray squirrel dashing up the tree trunk toward his house. When the squirrel reached the apple, the frog hopped out. "What are you so excited about?" he asked. "I'm very excited because I found this juicy red apple for lunch, and I'm going to take a big bite out of it," answered the squirrel. Before the tree frog could explain that the apple was made of wood, the squirrel had opened his mouth to take a bite. He yelled out in surprise, "Ow! My tooth! This is the hardest apple I've ever bitten into." "This is not a real apple," said the frog. "It's a frog house for a tree frog." "Well, whatever it is, it tastes terrible. I will leave you the apple for your house and go look for a real apple or some nuts. I'm a squirrel, and squirrels eat nuts and fruits." And with that, he ran down the tree. The frog hopped back into his house to resume his nap, but he had a feeling that he was being watched. The frog got up and poked his head out of the house. A furry orange cat was perched on a branch not far from the apple, staring at him. The tree frog had never been so close to a cat before and felt uneasy. The cat meowed in an unpleasant manner. "You are the strangest looking bird I ever saw," said the cat. "A bird? A bird? Do I look like a bird to you?" said the tree frog nervously. "See my long legs and green skin? I'm a tree frog." The cat looked disappointed. "Oh yes, I see now that you are a frog. But what are you doing in a birdhouse? I was so hoping for a bird. I'm a cat, and cats eat birds." The frog said, "This is not a birdhouse, it's a frog house. Have you ever seen a birdhouse that looked like an apple?" "No, I haven't," said the cat. "Of course not," said the frog. "That's because frog houses look like apples. Now run along, but don't bother any birds. All the ones I've met seem like nice friends." The cat climbed down the tree to try his luck with mice. The frog didn't feel tired anymore. Now he wanted to stay awake and see who else would come calling at his beautiful frog house. But there were no more hungry visitors, and he missed them. He would sit at the hole all by himself, singing spring peeping songs. He was quite proud of his voice, just as he was quite proud of his house. One day, a beautiful green tree frog heard his song and hopped up beside him. "What a magnificent house you have," she said. "I don't believe I've ever seen anything like it." "Do come in and look around," the tree frog said to her, and she did. She admired everything. And she stayed. watching.